You are now watching Miami Trap Stars.
All right, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God in heaven. First and foremost, again, all praises, all honor, all glory to the Most High God in heaven. It's your brother Rab Yawasap with.
All right, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God in heaven.
Well, slacky about that. Okay. Shabbat Shalom to everybody joining us. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, sharing the video, and hitting the like button. Baba Kushaw out the water. This is the Trap Star Torah reading, all right, your Torah portion for the day. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Of course, big shout out to everybody joining us. Big shout out to all the members. This is a members only chat. If you would like to become a member so that you can engage here on YouTube with us during our Sabbath classes or any of our Holy Day Convocation classes, or get some special content, get some special emojis, you can become a member right here, right now. The link is at the top of the chat. Just like every other live class that we do look to reach a minimum of 20 super chats. All right, can be a minimum of 99 cents each. All right. Also, of course, we invite Israelites to come and share the Passover with us. All right, down here in South Florida. Make sure you contact us via email using admin at servyhwh.info. That is ADMIN at servyhwh.info. You can contact us there for any general inquiries, to be added to a prayer list, to get you a free prayer book and song book, to get you a religious exemption letter, and also inquire of the details for the upcoming Passover, March 31st, down here in South Florida. All right, all praises, all honor, and glory to the Most High God in heaven. We started on time today. Ladies and gentlemen. May the Most High God continue to bless us. All praises, all honor, all glory to his holy name. All right. Also, shout out to everybody that joined us in prayers. All right. On the Discord. Shout out to everybody that joined us in prayers on the Discord. All right. If you're not in the Discord, you should be in the Discord. All right. It's where all the righteous, holy people are. Is in the Trap Star Discord. All right. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahawanathan Ban Lawya. That's pretty much it, though, as far as announcements, man. Make sure you stay tapped in with the Servants of Yahweh audio Bible, of course. Stay tapped in on the personal page. Stay tapped in on the Servants of Yahweh camp channel. All right. On YouTube, you can find us at Big Dean in the chat.
Shalom.
All right. Praise the Lord. My computer is moving extremely slow.
They said no audio.
They said no audio? I can't. That would be on your end.
He says it's back.
It's back. I don't control the audio. That's the main computer. Did you mute yourself? Oh, that's because you left the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't leave. Otherwise, my audio goes out.
Well.
If you need to be taken off the screen, just let me know.
Yeah.
All right. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. All praises. All right. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Make sure you spam the member only emojis. All right. Spam the Levi flag. Spam the Rhino. Spam the 305. Right. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. We about to get started. We will be starting in the Torah, of course. So drop them T's in the chat. Drop them T's in the chat. May you fill mine up too? I thought you were going back there to feed him. But then I saw you grab her cup, so all praises. Yeah, man, drop them T's in the chat. We're about to start the Torah portion. All right, we've been reading through the book of Numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you ask your questions. Your questions can be on topic or off topic. We will answer them to the best of our ability, in which the Most High God indeed gives us. Ba'ashem Yahawashi. And then also, of course, we encourage our brothers and our sisters to be taking notes during class. All right, make sure you are staying focused. and taking notes during class. So go ahead, get your pencil, get your pen, get your highlighter, get your marker, get your notebook, and most certainly indeed have your Bible out and ready. Okay. We've been reading the book of Numbers in the New Living Translation. All right. And we will continue to do so by Hashem Yahawashi. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, and share the video. Let us know what you think, any feedback, any questions that you also may have. All right. Huh? Yeah, there's another gallon of lemonade.
Wow.
Not spoiled.
Yeah.
Right? All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. But yeah, man, so without any further ado, we will go ahead and we will indeed get started. All praises. Make sure we know that we're praying for our people, praying for our land, and praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, and financial health with stability. Of course, doing so by Hashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. Okay, we are in Numbers, the 19th chapter.
We read Matthew already in Acts?
Oh, no, we did not.
Oh, God.
I always forget the opening scriptures. Maybe not always, but
The water. Appreciate it.
sometimes. All right, before we get started, excuse me, 1 yes, 2 no's, everybody following along with us. Before we get started, 1 yes, 2 no's, everybody following along with us. We are going to go over to Matthew chapter 23. That looks like 50 Cent.
Hey, dude. Haitian 50 Cent.
We're going to go over to Matthew 23. And verse 34. We will also read this in the New Living Translation. Man, my computer is moving. I should probably be using my laptop. Come on, so real quick. Oh, this is going to irk me.
Oh, man.
I gotta reset this computer. I'll probably leave today. Why is it like this? Nobody even uses this thing. All right. My goodness. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And I definitely appreciate your patience. The computer's moving extremely slow. But yeah, we're going to be reading Matthew chapter 23, starting at verse 34 in the New Living Translation. He said that's why.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, have mercy on my soul.
It's moving by itself?
No, it's just delayed with the movements I'm giving it. My God. Come on, finally. Woo! Sorry, I was clapping in the mic. All right, the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 34 in the New Living Translation. Therefore, I am sending you prophets and wise men and teachers of religious law. But you will kill some by crucifixion, and you will flog others with whips in your synagogues, chasing them from city to city. So we read this in the beginning of our Sabbath classes to make sure we know Yahawashi promised us he would send us prophets, wise men, and teachers of religious law. The law being referred to is the Mosaic law, right? The Torah, the instruction on the Most High God. So that is what we are doing here on the Sabbath day. And then also in the book of Acts, chapter 15, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably about to whip out my laptop because this is pissing me off. Hold on. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna log in via my laptop because it's gonna be better that way. All right. All praise, honor, glory to Yahawanathan. This is going to be way better. Lord willing, right? Let me see if I can do this. All right. Sheesh. All right. All praise, honor, glory to Yahawanathan. My God. All right. Thawad, everybody. Thawad, everybody, for your patience. Again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up in Acts chapter 15. All right. Lord willing. Right. Acts chapter 15, verse 21. All right. In the New Living Translation. Look how much faster that is. Praise the Heavenly Father. Right. Might have to upgrade this computer, man. If anybody want to help upgrade the computer, y'all know the Cash App. Okay. Cash App. McFly, hello. All right, so let's leave this. All right, let's share the screen here. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting there. Let's go. McFly. All right, so now you see how much faster that is, guys? My goodness. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 15, verse 21. In the New Living Translation, right? It says, "For these laws of Moses have been preached in Jewish synagogues in every city on every Sabbath for many generations." So we will keep this tradition that our Israelite ancestors had. We see Yahawanathan said he would teach us, send us teachers of religious law, and that the apostles and disciples attest to the fact that we were learning the law in the synagogue. So we have a synagogue down here in North Miami Beach, and we will be teaching the Torah in this synagogue the Most High God has provided us on the Sabbath day by Hashem Yahawashi. So now, without any further ado, we will be going over to Numbers chapter 19. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. 1 yes, 2 no. Are you following along with us? Is it clear on the screen? Do you have your pencil and paper taking notes? All right. Everybody taking notes, drop a pencil emoji in the chat. Everybody who loves God, drop a Levi flag in the chat. All right. And everybody who's blessed of God, drop a rhino. Oh, praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. All right. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button when you get in here. Share the video, hit that like button. All right. Drop a super chat if it be on your heart. It can be as low as 99 cents. Right? So, without any further ado, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 19, starting from verse 1 in the New Living Translation. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Here is another legal requirement commanded by the Lord. Tell the people of Israel to bring you a red heifer, a perfect animal that has no defects and has never been yoked to a plow." Verse 3, "Give it to Eleazar the priest, and it will be taken outside the camp and slaughtered in his presence. Eleazar will take some of its blood on his finger and sprinkle it 7 times toward the front of the tabernacle. As Eleazar watches, the heifer must be burned, its hide, meat, blood, and dung." Verse 6, "Eleazar the priest must then take a stick of cedar, a hyssop branch, and some scarlet yarn and throw them into the fire where the heifer is burning. Then the priest must wash his clothes and bathe himself in water. Afterward, he may return to the camp. Though he will remain ceremonially unclean until evening, the man who burns the animal must also wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and he too will remain unclean until evening." Verse 9, "Then someone who is ceremonially clean will gather up the ashes of the heifer and deposit them in a purified place outside the camp. They will be kept there for the community of Israel to use the water for the purification ceremony. Their ceremony is performed for the removal of sin. So the whole purpose of this being done, right, is for us to be cleansed by the Most High God and to remove our sin, right?
Like a lot of people probably will know about this from a Catholic Church point of view, the holy water.
Right.
So this was like the holy water from the Israelites. The Catholicism, copied this, and of course it's not really holy for real. But you already see it all starts with the red heifer and a high priest. Well, it takes several Levites and priests to do this because it has to priests because when you go up, it says one priest has to be ceremonially clean while the other one is doing one thing, the other is doing something. It's gonna pick up the rest of the deposits and put it somewhere else. So everybody's taking a chance from the priestly duties, but you can see the Catholicism is not real. It's not, how you say it, it's not true to his identity for real, because it's not really serving God for real. It's not really holy water. They're selling it. If you watch like 2-3 in the morning, I've seen them sell it on the commercial. That's not really holy water for real. So this is like, you can see this is the real holy water right here. So like, I'm sick. If you see, I'm under the weather.
Lord willing, he gets better.
Yeah, I need some holy water.
Continuing in Numbers 19, verse 10. The man who gathers up the ashes of the heifer must also wash his clothes, and he will remain ceremonially unclean until evening. This is a permanent law for the people of Israel and any foreigners who live among them. All those who touch a dead human body will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. So real quick, before we continue, the whole purpose of this, right, the water of purification. So they created this water from the heifer, right? And the whole purpose of it was to cleanse them of their sin. So the reason why Eleazar was unclean during the process, right, is because taking on that impurity, if you will.
Yeah, the
right. Very similarly, we in other ritualistic sacrifices, the children of Israel would put their hands on the Levites. The Levites would then put their hands on the sacrifice, and it would be basically transmitted, right? Which is also a foreshadow to the sacrifice of Ahmataza Lab, why the scribes, Pharisees, Levites, etc., were striking him on the way to being sacrificed.
I think it was something like that. What is it, Haggai?
What's the verbiage?
I think it's like Haggai 2. Don't remember. Basically, he's saying like the impurities, because it's like germs we don't see really. Yeah, but it's the same way like when they was touching Yahawanathan, the garment of his thing. It's like the opposite way. When it's like holy, when you touch it, it becomes clean. But you get what I mean?
God, I know what you're talking about.
But it's Haggai. Don't remember.
Haggai 2:11.
What did it say?
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, ask now the priest concerning the law, saying, if one bear holy flesh in the skirt of his garment.
Yeah,
that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, calm. So real quick, guys, we're going to transition over to a precept. 1 yes, 2 no. If you're still following along with us. 1 yes, 2 no. If you're still following along with us. We're going to trans over to a brief precept. 1 yes, 2 no. You're following along with us, right? The book of Haggai, chapter 2 and verse 11. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, ask now the priests concerning the law, saying, if one bear holy flesh in the skirt of his garment, and with his skirt do touch bread or pottage or wine or oil or any meat, shall it be holy? And the priest answered and said, no. Said Haggai, if one that is unclean by a dead body touch any of these, shall it be unclean? And the priest answered and said, it shall be unclean. Then answered Haggai and said, so is the people, and so is this nation before me, saith the Lord. So is every work of their hands that which they offer there is unclean. Keep going.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah. Well, you can see, because so basically it's like if something was unclean. Oh, so when we're gonna go back into the law, going back into the dead body, the impurities, it's the same thing where like if a woman was on a menstrual and the seat was unclean, you don't see it unclean. You can't see it. It's not visibly there. But the Most High sees it. He knows what is there. It's like metaphysics or something, like the atoms and molecules and whatever that we're not looking beyond our eyes, right? But the Most High can see all of this. He sees what's unclean, what's unclean. He knows, like, I could wash my hand 10 times, but is my hand really clean? No, because I just killed somebody. You get what I mean? It's spiritually unclean. So all that goes back into spirituality, which is why the purification process was there.
God.
God, so you probably could go back to numbers.
Everything is defiled by their sin. Come. All praise to the Most High. Come. So now we're going to transition back over to Numbers chapter 19. 1 yes, 2 no. Are you following along with us? 1 yes, 2 no. Are you following along with us? And shout out to Joshua. That brother did indeed catch that. He got his whatchamacallit. He got his membership. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Yes, baby. You're stuck. All right. So back in Numbers chapter 19, verse 11. This is the book of Numbers chapter 19, verse 11. It says, all those who touch a dead human body will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. They must purify themselves on the 3rd and 7th days with the water of purification. So this wasn't no regular take a shower water.
Yeah, I was about to say that. And then it specifies 3rd and 7th day, right? It's got to be very specific with these things, with this process, because it's going to go on to what's going to happen when you don't, what's going to happen when you do.
Okay, so it says, but if they do not do this on the 3rd and 7th days, they will continue to be unclean even after the 7th day. So if you did it on the 2nd day and the 5th day, you would continue to be unclean.
Or you did it on the 3rd day and did it on the 6th day, right. 5th or 6th day, he's still unclean. You didn't do it the right way.
You had to follow these instructions very, very closely, right?
Verbatim.
Exactly.
So it's not, it's no way around it. It's straightforward. 3rd and 7th day.
Continuing in verse 13. All those who touch a dead body and do not purify themselves in the proper way. I apologize. Mommy's coming. So, like the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 13. All those who touch a dead body and do not purify themselves in the proper way defile the Lord's tabernacle, and they will be cut off from the community of Israel. Excuse me. Since the water of purification was not sprinkled on them, their defilement continues. This is the ritual law that applies when someone dies inside a tent. All those who enter that tent and those who were inside when the death occurred will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. Any open container in the tent that was not covered with a lid is also defiled. So this lets you know that if you had an open Tupperware, open cup, or something of that nature, that itself was also considered unclean. by way of that dead body. What the hell? Slaki, give me a second.
So I could give you an example, right? So I used to work at Taco Bell years ago, and one time I went to work, and in the bathroom, some guy locked himself in the bathroom, and it was a crackhead. It was like some Edomite crackhead, and basically he, I guess, overdosed and died in the bathroom. But the thing is like nobody, all the workers that was in the that was working didn't even know the guy was in there until the morning. They didn't even know the guy was in the bathroom locked. They just thought the door was locked. So he's in the bathroom, but nobody's aware of it, right? So now imagine the open containers that was in that restaurant and that, was still open. Now everything that was open has been defiled. Even if you have a house, somebody died, like, it's part of your house. Just whatever's in your house and that death happened, it caused the whole house to be defiled. So that's why you had the rituals for all of this. So if somebody dies, anybody that enters will be, considered unclean for 7 days. So, okay, God.
My apologies.
No, it's cool.
All right, all praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Throughout everybody. Where'd you leave off, or were you explaining?
Oh no, I gave an example
of what?
A story that happened at Taco Bell. Like this guy died in a bathroom, but the funny thing is, like, there was open containers in the thing in the restaurant, so that means
everything was unclean.
Everything was unclean.
See that? Also, want to speak of this regarding even funerals.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to go to that too.
If you want to, you can.
You could go. But you give me some lemonade.
God, so. Even regarding funerals, right? It's important to understand these processes must still take precedent in our lives. Knowing the proper understanding of what makes us unclean and what doesn't make us unclean, right? So, for example, if you go to a funeral and it's an open casket, then when you walk in there, you're unclean, right? A lot of people ask, well, why would you not be unclean if it was also closed? Because when it's closed, it's contained inside of that container. It's very simple, right? Even, for example, like when we used to do those caskets
at the airport,
on the airport, right?
Yeah.
I had to text Alazar and ask him. He said, as long as it's boxed up, etc., because you're not touching the dead body itself and it's being contained, right? A lot of Israelites, I don't know how serious certain Israelites take this, don't take this, etc., but these things still need to be followed and taken into consideration. We may not have the water of purification to do on the 3rd and 7th day, but we have to show the Most High God that we care for the things that we are able to do. So also another question is, a lot of people ask, can they even go to funerals? Yes, you are allowed to go to funerals, right? There was only certain people in the nation that were not allowed to go to certain funerals, like Nazarites. Doesn't matter if it's their mom, their dad, doesn't matter. You cannot go to a funeral. That's what the Nazarite law says, right? If you are a high priest, you can only go to funerals of people who were immediate family, okay, because of the fact that this uncleanness is severe, if you will. Right, so 1 yes 2 no is everybody following along with us. 1 yes 2 no is everybody following along with us. Yes.
So you said the priest, like the high priest, what is it? Family, what is like they have like foster.
Foster what?
Oh no, you talk about back in time.
Yeah, it will be like
foster children.
No, foster parents.
Foster parents.
I don't think we have foster parents.
That's not true, because Mordecai was technically the foster parent to Esther.
Oh yeah.
So I'm saying, like, they can't go to their funeral.
It has to be immediate family. Those foster children would not be considered immediate family.
It has to be immediate because I guess the level of duty you have to do for the Most High, like, you cannot.
It's gonna outweigh that.
7 days, you gotta, like, I gotta wait for you to be clean.
Mm-hmm.
to do a job. So that's
Exactly. Right. So just so in case anybody didn't hear that, my wife asked, what about people who have foster children, right? Um, especially dealing with like the high priest, that would not be considered immediate, right? Because immediate has to do with like direct blood descendants, and your wife would have been okay, your mom and your dad, stuff like that, right? So one yes, two knows, everybody following along with us, and everybody good to go so far, right? If you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. Matter of fact, Majan Israel says, can you read the first verse again about touching a dead body? Yes, we will start back from verse 11. All right. So shout out to everybody joining us. Hit that like button when you get in here. Okay, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 19, starting back at verse 11. All those who touch a dead body will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. They must purify themselves on the third and seventh day with the water of purification. Then they will be purified. But if they do not do this on the third and seventh day, they will continue to be unclean even after the seventh day. Verse 13, Brakatha. Verse 13. All those who touch a dead body and do not purify themselves in the proper way defile the Lord's tabernacle, and they will be cut off from the community of Israel. Since the water of purification was not sprinkled on them, their defilement continues. So, now, in case you're wondering why it would defile the tabernacle, because remember, we're carrying the tabernacle with us in the wilderness, right? So we had to maintain levels of cleanliness according to how the Most High God instructed, right? Continuing at verse 14, it says, this is the ritual. This is the ritual that applies when someone dies inside a tent. So if someone dies inside a tent, which would be the equivalent of a home or a building today, all those who enter that tent, when you enter it, somebody died in there, right? If you enter it, and those who were inside when the death occurred will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. So this lets us know that if you go into a place where someone was unalived or died, right, you would now be unclean. If you were in there while they died, you would be unclean, right? Verse 15. Any open container in the tent that was not covered with a lid is also defiled. So very simply, this cup, if it's open like this, right? Brakatha, right? If it's open like this, no lid on top, it's unclean, right? Hope everybody follows that. Verse 16. And if someone in an open field touches the corpse of someone who was killed with a sword or who died a natural death, or if someone touches a human bone or a grave, that person will be defiled for 7 days. So even when you go to graveyard, grave site, you go to visit dead relatives, right? You're considered unclean, right? One yes, two no. Is everybody still following along with us? Of course, shout out to Zaquan Dawara, Shalom Shabbat, to all called to be saints. It is a good day. We rejoice in it. Indeed. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. One yes, two no. Is everybody still following along with us? You good, priest? All right, let's do this. All right, come. So continuing back at Numbers chapter 19 and verse 17. The book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 17. Hold on. Where does it say how to do the ritual of cleanse on third and seventh day? So real quick, this one, right? So Madra Israel, the ritual for cleansing, we don't have the actual water, right? The water that it's referring to is the water that was created at the beginning of the chapter with the ashes of the red heifer and the ritual that Eleazar did, right? So the cleansing process on the third and seventh day is not something we can do today because it's not a simple shower, right? 1 yes, 2 no. Do you understand that? The cleansing process was explained at the beginning of the chapter. All right, all praises. That's better. So now moving forward again, the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 17. Shout out to Zaquan Dabara, keeping that $1 drive alive. Yahawanathan Ban Lawya, want the water for your generous, continuous, and loving supports. Again, Yahawanathan Ban Lawya, want the water for your generous, continuous, and loving supports. Zaquan Dabara, keeping that $1 drive alive. Praise the Lord. So again, Numbers chapter 19, verse 17 from the top. To remove the defilement, put some of the ashes from the burnt purification offering in a jar and pour fresh water over them. So you would take the ashes from the red heifer, put it in a jar, and pour water in it, right? Verse 18. Then someone who is ceremonially clean must take a hyssop branch and dip it into the water. That person must sprinkle the water on the tent, on all the furnishings in the tent, and on the people who were in the tent. Also on the person who touched a human bone, barakatah, or touched someone who was killed or who died naturally, or touched a grave. So again, these particular ashes isn't just any old ashes; it is from the red heifer, right? So again, the proper purification process and cycle of being purified from the uncleanliness of a dead body, right, is not something we can do right now. Again, we can still honor this law, this instruction, by making sure we pay attention to, where we're going, especially walking into, thinking about hospitals. People dying there all the time, right? So these are things that we have to keep in mind. When you walk into a building, right? If someone died in there, it's unclean. Anything that's it's unopened or without a lid on it is unclean. So if you go into a room in a hospital and somebody died in there, you got to be cognizant of these things. You understand? If certain processes weren't taken, etc. And that's also very important. Especially like this is something, if you get a new place, you go and move into a new place. Me personally, I don't know if you were there. I'm pretty sure. No, it was Ahmataza, right? Like when we moved into this new apartment, my rib and I, where we had in Fort Lauderdale, I literally was in there every day for about a week, 2 weeks straight. I scrubbed the walls multiple times with bleach. You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't know the person who was in there before or before them, etc., and what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that you're doing everything you can possibly do to be aware of where you're going into, to, of course, respect and keep this law to the best of your ability. Right? Again, shout out to Zaquan Dabara, keeping that $1 drive alive. Yahawanathan want the water for your generous, continuous, and loving support. 1 yes, 2 no's. Everybody's still walking with us. Wow, it just got real quiet. 1 yes, 2 no. Is everybody still walking with us? And that's just a person's corpse, right? Yeah, this is just
so
a human body.
Yeah, because I think when you touch a urine clean, but you could take a regular shower for animal.
Yes, and it's only particular animals.
Yeah, particular animals. Because you just see, like when he did the red heifer, all he had to do is just wash his clothes and clean himself.
Right. All right, kind. So, moving forward to Numbers chapter 19, verse 19. On the third and seventh days, the person who is ceremonially clean must sprinkle the water on those who are defiled. Then on the seventh day, the people being cleansed must wash their clothes and bathe themselves. So now notice, that's how you know this ain't no regular water that they're talking about with the water of purification. Because look, you still have to bathe yourself, right?
Yeah.
You still have to wash your clothes and you still have to bathe yourself. So now another thing to take in consideration is when you're unclean, how important it is those clothes that are unclean that you got on, etc. You have to know. You have to wash your clothes still, right? When we get to another portion of the Torah, like dealing with sexual intercourse, anything that the man's seed of copulation touches is considered unclean, right? You have to wash whatever it touches, the sheets, the clothes, your bodies, etc. Right? So continue. I'm gonna read again Numbers chapter 19, verse 19. On the third and seventh days, the person who is ceremonially clean must sprinkle the water on those who are defiled. Then on the seventh day, the people being cleansed must wash their clothes and bathe themselves, and that evening they will be cleansed of their defilement. But those who become defiled and do not purify themselves will be cut off from the community, for they have defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. This is a good example of how something that's small can turn into a big problem, right? Because at first you're simply unclean. You haven't sinned, right?
Yeah.
If you then deny the purification process, now you are in sin, and that sin is worthy of death, right? Because now we see that it says you will be cut off from the community for defiling the Lord's sanctuary. So you went from simply being defiled and unclean to defiling the Lord's sanctuary due to your lack of obedience in the purification
Now you're being negligent, making
Right.
everybody else unclean. You're not even seeing what you're doing.
Again, the book of Numbers chapter 19 and verse 20. But those who become defiled and do not purify themselves will be cut off from the community, for they have defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. Since the water of purification has not been sprinkled on them, they remain defiled. Verse 21. This is a permanent law for the people. Those who sprinkle the water of purification must afterward wash their clothes, and anyone who then touches the water used for purification will remain defiled until evening. So, I apologize. Hold on. Take over.
God, I don't know what I was gonna say, but it says this is a permanent law for the people, right? So those who sprinkle the water purification must have to wash their clothes. Anyone who washes the water used. So basically, anybody who's dealing with this water, basically the high priest, right? It's just gonna be a rotation of priests, right? And they're gonna be clean and unclean, but the one that's unclean has to be clean to redo this process over and over again, right? So, Salakio, I'm so out of the loop right now. My cat killing me. But you know, one of the things when I was reading this, right, I was thinking about something, you know, like the same way we purify our water, right, with charcoal. And I was like, that's crazy. Like we use rocks, pebbles, and that's how we clean our water. But then, so I was like, while I was reading this, I was like, hey, that's cool. He's using the ashes, just like the charcoal. When you crumple it, it look like ashes, right? But just to clean the water again. But it shows you, it's a lot of things that can clean water too. That's what I was thinking about. Well, you were gonna say something. I don't know what you were gonna go to.
No, I was just gonna really specify verse 21 here, where it says, "This is a permanent law for the people. Those who sprinkle the water of purification must afterward wash their clothes." So now the ceremonially clean people who were cleansing the others, they also have to now wash their clothes.
Oh,
And anyone who then touches the water used for purification will remain defiled until evening. So if that water got on you, even though you didn't touch the dead body,
yeah.
you are now unclean by that water because of the uncleanliness of the others. This is how important the uncleanliness of a dead body is. We see, for example, right? We see in the Torah, there's different judgments for different sins, right? We see Yahawanathan says that there's least of the commandments and the greater of commandments, right? This right here is one of the greater uncleanliness of the Torah, because, for example, there's not this super big purification ritual for when a woman's on her menstrual cycle. When it comes to the this is only for the priests, or Khan, that's for everybody.
That's for all Israelites. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put it like that.
Khan. So as far as, like, for example, going to Passover, the Most High says there's two reasons you would have to keep the second Passover. If you're unable to travel to the first one, or if you're dead by way of a dead body, right? Women who are unclean by their menstrual cycle still have the ability to partake in the Passover, right? So to understand the severity of being unclean by way of a dead body, and how important it is to do your best of following this purification, right? So 1 yes, 2 no, because we're about to close out the chapter and move on to the wisdom portion. 1 yes, 2 no is everybody following along with us.
And it's also to be mindful of all the impurities that's out there, just because, basically it's like just knowing how to be mindful with like the Torah, like just because it looks small and minuscule to a lot of us, we got to take it seriously, because that's how we end up here, right? Just somebody, I know a bunch of us missed the third or the seventh day not cleaning ourselves, right? So little stuff like this, third and seventh day, the most I said, third and seventh day, take it seriously, right? Don't be lackadaisical, don't be, be rebellious. So, because that's what it looks, rebellious. That's, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, who are you disobeying? Not me. You're disobeying the Most High God.
So we're gonna close out Numbers chapter 19. I'm gonna read again from verse 21 through 22. This is a permanent law for the people. Those who sprinkle the water of purification must afterward wash their clothes, and anyone who then touches the water used for purification will remain defiled until evening. Anything and anyone that a defiled person touches will be ceremonially unclean until evening. So now, if you're a defiled person, right, from way of a dead body, the context is dead body defilement, right? Someone who is unclean by way of a dead body, and they touch you, right, you can now be unclean until evening. You don't have to go through the full purification process the way they do, but because they're unclean and they touch you, now you're unclean, right? Basically, this uncleanliness is being transferred to you. You understand? 1 yes, 2 no. Does everybody understand that?
And it's crazy, because the Most High, He will make us like go through these stuff like this, because we had brothers that was in a plane when somebody died in a plane.
Yeah.
And like, imagine that you're in a plane and somebody just died right behind you. So he's trying to question it. Do I go to camp? What do I do? And what he had to do, he had to stay away for 7 days because he wasn't clean, right? And anybody he had touched, shalom, this and that, greeting each other. Now they're unclean for till the evening, but he's still unclean for 7 days.
All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. So we about to transition, ladies and gentlemen. Drop them dubs in the chat. We about to transition real quick. Drop them dubs in the chat for the wisdom portion. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. 1 yes, 2 no. Are we ready to go? 1 yes, 2 no. Are we ready to go? Shout out to everybody joining us. Hit that like button when you get in here. Shout out to everybody joining us. Hit that like button when you get in here, man. All right. Use the member only emojis in the chat. Use those member only emojis in the chat. Baba Shawat the water. Right? Oh, praise honor and glory to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. So we're going to transition over to the wisdom portion. Drop them dubs in the chat. All praise to the Most High. We are moving forward to the book of Sirach. All right. We are reading the book of Sirach. We have to keep the theme in mind. We must keep the theme in mind. This is an individual who's living in Egypt, and he has compiled the wisdom and experience, the understanding from his grandfather, his father, and himself in his own life. He put it into a book, and his purpose was to share it with other Israelites that were scattered to the four corners of the earth. Right? So we're going to go ahead and dive into the wisdom portion. Drop them dubs in the chat. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahawanathan. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell is this? I hate these ads, bro.
Yeah.
All right. That's good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on.
All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter.
I can't get rid of that, bro. Okay, that's better. All right. Come on, go ahead.
Yeah, it is.
One of those allergies is no joke.
For real. What? Every time I get allergies, I just think about what did I do in my past to get this. I almost did something serious because it's killing me. But Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord who lives forever created the whole universe, and he alone is just. He has given no one enough power to describe what he has done.
So real quick, I want to put this in a perspective right here, because remember Yahawanathan said this also, that that was in Matthew 19, right? When you know what, let's just read it. How about that? Matthew 19, I think. Maybe it's 18. No, it's not Matthew 18. It's Matthew 19. Hold on. Right here. Good master. When someone called him good master, right? Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came unto him and said unto him, good master, right? Verse 17. Yahawanathan responded, though, and said, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. Right? That is God. So in Sirach chapter 18, in verse 1 and 2, it says, and he alone is just. Right? Yahawanathan says the same thing, that the Most High God is the only one that's good, right? The true one that's balanced, the true one that's righteous forever and ever and always, right? Go ahead again. We see verse 3 is not in here, just so y'all know. All right, we got to pay attention when when verses are missing from the Good News Translation per se. So let's go down to the bottom. In the footnotes, right? In the footnotes, it tells us some manuscripts add verses 2 and 3, and there is no other besides him. He guides the world with his hand, and everything obeys him. He is the king of all things, and his power separates what is holy from what is not. So there's manuscripts that add those verses in there, just emphasizing the power of the Most High God. All right. Again from verse 4.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 4. He has given no one enough power to describe what he has done, and no one can investigate it completely. Who can measure his majestic power? Who can tell the whole story of his merciful actions? We cannot add to them. We cannot subtract from them.
So now just the same way we can't add to the law and subtract from the law, we can't add to the law's majesty. We definitely can't take away from his majesty, his merciful actions, his power, right? And notice the author is saying, no one can investigate it completely, the power of God, right? If you notice, that's why when he speaks to his servants, his prophets, right, especially in Job, he asks Job rhetorical questions like, can you go and measure the depths of the sea? Can you measure the size of the earth? Can you measure the sun? Can you do this and do that? Have you talked with Leviathan? Have you created, you know what I'm saying, etc., right? Because no one can investigate God's work completely. Okay, go ahead.
Start at verse 5. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 5. Who can measure his majestic power? Who can tell the whole story of his merciful actions? We cannot add to them. We cannot subtract from them. There is no way to comprehend the marvelous things the Lord has done. When we come to the end of that story, we have not even begun. We are simply at a loss for words.
So now, this is crazy. How when we feel like we've got to the end of the story of our God, the author says, look, man, you haven't even gotten started, actually. Right? As though we feel we're getting ready to be finished, right? We're being told that it hasn't even started. Right? And real quick, Tribe of Issachar sharing with us Psalm chapter 90, verse 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Right? So we see how David is always praising the Lord for his majesty, always praising the Most High God for his great works and the things that he's done. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. What are human beings? Of what we use are we? Of what use are we? The good that we do, the evil that we do, what does it all mean? If we live 100 years, we live an unusual long time, but compared with all eternity, those years are like a drop of water in the ocean.
Whoo, those years are like a drop of water in the ocean. Real quick, shout out to Zaquan Dabara. How about Shemiah Shabrakatah? Walk the water for your generous, your continuous, and your loving support. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Right? You want me to just do this, King?
Oh man.
I can do it, bro.
Sure, I could do it.
Okay. Whatchamacallit? Start from verse 8 again, Baba Sham.
All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 8. What are human beings? Of what use are we? The good that we do, the evil that we do, what does it all mean?
So, of course, now this is what people today would call kind of like a philosophy, right? Or thinking esoterically, right? But he's considering human life, right? Kind of like that Shakespeare thing, the phrase "to be or not to be," right? Considering human life. So he's saying, what are human beings, right? Of what use are we? Why do we matter? The good, the evil. What is it all for? What is all of this about, right? Go ahead. Verse 9.
Verse 9. If we live 100 years, we have lived an unusually long time. But compared with all eternity, those years are like a drop of water in the ocean.
So now he's saying that if you got to live 100 years, right? That you have lived an unusual long life. Let's go to a quick precept right quick. I got this from Brother Rawataza a long time ago. He shared it in honor to Zaquan Raphael. Right, so this is the book of Psalm chapter 90 verse 10. 70 years are given to us. Some even live to 80. But even the best years are filled with pain and trouble. Soon they disappear and we live and we fly away. Emphasizing the beginning of the portion, 70, 80 years, right? Matter of fact, the KJV, I think, is a little bit better. Right here, Psalm chapter 90, verse 10. And in KJV, it says, the days of our years are 80 years and 10. And if by reason of strength they be 80 years. So we see that having the ability to live so long is by reason of strength of the Most High, of course. Right? So, and Sirach, the author of Sirach, is sharing this same sentiment. Right? And then he uses the fact that even if we live so long, comparing it to eternity, comparing it to the power of the Most High, is like a drop of water in the ocean, right? Of course, it's incomparable to eternity, right? Start again from verse 9.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 9. If we lived 100 years, we have lived an unusually long time.
Mm-hmm.
But compared with all eternity, those years are like a drop of water in the ocean, like a single grain of sand. That is why the Lord is so patient with us.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he so free with his mercy? He looks at us and knows that we are doomed to die.
Go ahead.
That is why he's so willing to forgive us.
That is why. So this, again, this is all from the perspective of the author. He's musing on human life. Like, what is this all about, right? And then comparing our lives to eternity. And then, he says the Most High already knows that, everybody, there's a life cycle, right? We're all doomed to die, right? And I was talking about this with my wife like last week or so, is that people look at death like it's a bad thing, right?
For real.
Death is not always a judgment, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody must turn back to dust, right? Ashes to dust, right? It's very simple. It is the life cycle. Now, how someone dies and the life they live is going to be determined what type of judgment they may or may not get. That's why it's important to understand regeneration and know that your spirit comes back down here, right? Because death is not the judgment. Everybody got to die. Yahawanathan died, right? He resurrected, right? But he still died. Lazarus died. He died twice. Peter died. All the apostles, disciples died. Elijah, he was translated. His flesh, right, wasn't translated. His spirit, Enoch, walked with God, translated, right? Elisha, he died. His bones still had power in them, brought somebody else back to life. So death isn't always the judge. It's not the judgment. You live your judgment out on earth because God wants you to feel that, right? If you die, how is death? That's a Brogatha times 100, right? That's why the Christianity philosophy of hell doesn't compute. First of all, it's imbalanced, right? Because God's gonna judge you eternally for 100 years. That's out of whack. That's not balanced. That's not God. That's not how you do things, right? And then your spirit is burning, right? So you don't even get to really take hold of that judgment. So now so that means you did all this wickedness you're not even really being judged for, right? Whereas regeneration, your spirit being brought back on this earth into a new flesh, you are going to experience that sorrow and that turmoil for the sins in which you've committed, right? 1yes2 knows everybody following along. 1yes2 knows everybody following along.
Solomon had said that in Ecclesiasticus 9. So like everybody dies, but it's like enjoy your life, but don't sin.
You want me to go there?
Yeah, it's like an NLT. Probably could start at 3. Or probably 2.
Yeah, now let's start at verse 1.
Yeah.
So we're going to transition real quick over to a precept, guys. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 1. 1 yes, 2 no. Are you following with us? We're going to transition over. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9, starting at verse 1 in the New Living Translation. This too I carefully explored. Even though the actions of godly and wise people are in God's hands, no one knows whether God will show them favor. The same destiny ultimately awaits everyone, whether righteous or wicked, good or bad, ceremonially clean or unclean, religious or irreligious. Good people receive the same treatment as sinners, and people who make promises to God are treated like people who don't. Verse 3, it seems so tragic that everyone under the sun suffers the same fate. That is why people are not more careful to be good. They choose their own mad course, for they have no hope. There is nothing ahead but death anyways. That's how people look at it. And this, I really appreciate Solomon's wisdom because, you know, he ventured off to really see the earth and see the world and see how everybody was living. And this is where all of these psychologists, philosophers who think they're so smart, this is really where they're getting in from Ecclesiastes, Sirach, right? Because these are the same things that they still muse over today, right? And we see that the author of Ecclesiastes is telling us this is why people think they can get away with what they're going to do, because they look at someone who's good and kind and they say, well, they're going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to just do what I want to do. Why? That's go ahead.
No, they say that to us when we tell them about the commandments. So like,
Mhm.
we're gonna die anyway. It was a point. We're gonna die anyway.
Exactly. Right? And they would rather die in what they consider happiness. Right? So I'm going to read it again from Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 3. It says, it seems so tragic that everyone under the sun suffers the same fate. That is why people are not more careful to be good. They choose their own mad course, for they have no hope. There is nothing ahead but death anyways. Verse 4, there is hope only for the living. As they say, it's better to be a live dog than a dead lion. Verse 5, the living at least know they will die, but the dead know nothing. They have no further reward, nor are they remembered. Whatever they did in their lifetime, loving, hating, envying, it is all gone, is all long gone. They no longer play part in anything here on earth. So go ahead, eat your food with joy and drink your wine with a happy heart, for God approves of this. So really quick, just to get to the conclusion of the purpose, right? Let me see. I think he says it in the next chapter, but the whole purpose is right here, verse. Live happily with the woman you love. All many. Right here, verse 10. Whatever you do, do well. For when you go to the grave, there will be no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom. So he is emphasizing the fact that just because we all die, right, we still need to take happiness in joy in what we're doing, and we still need to do it well. We need to do it unto the Most High, right? YHWH tells us in Matthew 5, right, he uses the fact that the grace of the Most High, right? So the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 45. In that way you will be acting as true children of your Father in heaven. For he gives his sunlight to both the evil and the good, and he sends rain on the just and the unjust alike. If you love only those who love you, what reward is there for that? Even corrupt tax collectors do that much. So YHWH uses the fact that everybody goes through the same thing an emphasis of God's mercy, right? The author of Ecclesiastes uses it in the fact of why people tend to steer away from doing good, and they tend to live their own life. They want to do what they think makes them happy, because they think, oh, well, we're all going to die anyway, so who cares, right? And these are all the muses of human life, right? These are things people still think about today. And when we consider them, it plays an important part of, are we allowing the left hand side to get a hold of us, or are we going to continue pursuing on the right hand side, right? One yes, two knows, everybody's still following along with us.
Yeah, because it's like they always go back into like literally it's like every single day is choosing life and death. All right, so it's like if I choose life, that means there's a whole lot of things that I had to stop probably thinking about or doing, or really just it starts with my thoughts, right? So I don't even let the left side of the spirit like get to me, but that's how it kind of sneaks up on you with the thought. It starts with a little thought, then it enters your heart or whatever.
I guess I can take that off. There you go. I took the fuzziness off the screen, Maja Israel, for you. All right. All praises. So we're going to go back now over to Sirach 18, excuse me. We're in Sirach 18. We're going to go back over to Sirach 18, 1 yes, 2 no. Are you following along with us? 1 yes, 2 no. We're going to go back over to Sirach chapter 18 in the Good News Translation. All right. Go ahead.
What verse? Oh, it's not 10, right? All right. Start at 9. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 9. If we lived 100 years, we have lived an unusually long time. But compared with all eternity, those years are like a drop of water in the ocean, like a single grain of sand. That is why the Lord is so patient with us. Why is he so free with his mercy? He looks at us and knows that we are doomed to die. That is why he is so willing to forgive us. We can show compassion to someone we know, but the Lord shows compassion for all humanity.
Mm-hmm.
He corrects us, he disciplines us, he teaches us like a shepherd tending sheep.
You see that? And that was the same. And so now we read Ecclesiastes, right? We read that perspective. And we're coming back here and we're continuing with the perspective of Sirach. We see that the perspective of Sirach is similar to that of YHWH. YHWH said in Matthew 5, the Most High God makes it the sunshine and the rain pour on both the good and the evil, the just and the unjust. We see here Sirach is sharing that sentiment where he says we can show compassion to someone we know, right? And YHWH says the same thing. Well, what does it mean if you only show love to people you know? Tax collectors do the same thing, right? And the author of Sirach says, but the Lord shows compassion for all humanity. He corrects us, he disciplines us, he teaches us. Like a shepherd tending sheep, right? He brings us back to himself. Now remember, this author is an Israelite in Egypt, and he's looking to empower the other Israelites. So if we take this with the knowledge in which we have today, and we understand the prophecy, the salvation of Israel is the benefit of the entire earth. The salvation of Israel is the benefit to the entire earth, because again, when the righteous are in rulership, the people will rejoice. I think a lot of Israelites miss that portion of the prophecy, right? We are here to bring peace on earth. The reason why the earth is at such odds is because righteousness is not ruling right now, right? Getting our the Most High allowing us to get our revenge and vengeance, etc., is a portion of the prophecy, but the majority of the prophecy is peace on earth and having the Most High God's house be a house of prayer for all people, where all people are going to have the ability to come and worship our one true living God. We won't have to worry about arguing with people about how Buddhism is this and Christianity is that, and and all their vain philosophy. That won't exist, right? And that is where the majority of the prophecy lies. The honor of the Most High God, right? Shout out to Double Shot of Wisdom. All right, Yahawanathan Walk the water for your generous, continuous love and support, becoming a bronze trap member, bronze trap star on this wonderful, beautiful Sabbath day. Praise the Lord. Right? Go ahead. You can start verse 13. Double Shot of Wisdom has a question. Go ahead and ask your question in the chat. Verse 13.
All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 13. We can show compassion to someone we know, but the Lord should compassion for all humanity. He corrects us. He disciplines us. He teaches us like a shepherd tending sheep. He brings us back to himself. He will have compassion on us if we accept his guidance and are eager for him to show us where we are wrong. Gotta go down.
I was kind of waiting to see. Verse 14, he will have compassion on us if we accept his guidance and are eager for him to come. Oh, Salaki, let's emphasize this real quick. And are eager for him to show us where we are wrong. A lot of people want to be told how right they are. A lot of people want to be told how right they are. But the author of Sirach says the compassion of the Lord comes from when we want to be corrected, when we want to be told how wrong we are. And, Brother Ahmataza said this a while ago. I've shared it a couple of times here with you guys of how when it comes to Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies, right? They want to be told what they're doing wrong so that they can find improvement, so that they could do better, right? And that's what the Most High God is expecting of us. Instead of always wanting to be praised for what we're doing right, we should want to be given constructive criticism on what we're doing wrong so that we can make our weaknesses our strength.
It's
right.
It's crazy. Like the DARE program, right?
So the DARE program?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they had to remodel it because the fact that DARE got all these kids on drugs.
Jeez.
I don't know if you remember the commercial. They were
we were talking about it.
Yeah, they were showing us how to use it. But this guy, he basically talked bad about it. He said, "You guys don't even work. It's a scam, this and that." Mm-hmm. So they hired him. He was a scientist and a doctor. So they hired him to revamp it and remodel it to fix it.
Oh, we all praise
because they wanted to fix the problem. And
right.
Yeah, so that's just like you're saying.
And he wasn't just tinkling brass and cymbal. He actually had ways to make it better.
Yeah.
Right. So all praise to the Most High. Double Shot of Wisdom. Shout out to this person. What should I feel about the Gentile centurion's son getting healed by Jesus? How can I interpret that? I mean, it was someone that was healed by Jesus Christ. If you have a more specific question, and if it's based on our belief that Jesus Christ only died for the nation of Israel, feel free to be more straightforward in your questioning. But as far as this, it's Jesus Christ healing somebody's son. Okay. Let's continue in Sirach 18, verse 15.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 15.
Right. So again, YHWH healing someone's son. Barakatah. YHWH, or who you are obviously calling Jesus, if he came for Israel, then how he healed the Gentile son. Him healing someone, right? Just to help with your argument, right? Let's say, because we don't have this person's genealogy, right? We don't have this person's genealogy. You're saying that they're non-Israelite. We would argue that they're Israelites. We don't have proof. Either one of us doesn't have this exact person's genealogy. So neither one of us can emphatically say, oh, that was an Israelite, right? If the argument is about the death of Jesus Christ, the prophecy states the death of the suffering servant, Isaiah 53, was to heal the nation of Israel. Not everybody. Very simple, right? You can go from Isaiah 53, 54, 59, 60, and 61. The gospel, etc., was about the healing of Israel and then being glorified. Isaiah 60 tells us that Israel would be glorified and the Gentiles would seek toward that light. If they could be a part of it, why would they have to seek toward it? Right? So hopefully that helps you with clarity. All praise to the Most High. Again, Bible Shah, verse 15.
God. I've got a question.
Who?
Your wife.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You can ask off-topic questions.
What's for lunch?
What's for lunch? Okay. What's for the house of Israel? Okay.
So when Christians read that and they see that, but Christians believe that a lot of Jewish people are
They're the real Israelites, yeah?
Yeah, so why do they think that they will get salvation if they believe that the Jewish people are? Like, what's the...
No. Well, it depends on what. What my wife is asking is regarding basically like the relationship between Christianity and Judaism. And basically, if Christians today believe that the people in Israel today are the real Jews, then why do they think that they wouldn't be saved or something to that effect?
Like, why do they think that like they think that salvation is for everybody if it's only just for
Okay.
Jewish people?
So basically asking why do Christians believe that salvation has become for everyone if it's stated in the scriptures that it's only for Israel? It depends on what denomination you're talking about, because you do have Christian Zionists who which is exactly why America gives the state of Israel billions of dollars on a yearly basis, because because of the lobbyists, etc., they force the hand of the American government to say we have to bless Israel if we want to be blessed. So there's Christian denominations that do share in the fact that they know that Israel has to come first. You have other Christian denominations that also believe in what's known as replacement theology, which is basically the multi-ethnic church would replace the ethnic Israel. So it would really depend upon who you're talking to. Not every Christian believes the same thing, just like every Israelite doesn't believe the same thing. It would be determined upon that individual and what they believe to really see why it is they view the salvation. As far as salvation goes, though, just to be clear and more, I guess, accurate, the death of Jesus Christ was strictly for the nation of Israel, right? That's what the prophecy states. So when we're arguing about who's salvation for this, that, and the third, people compartmentalize salvation into only certain things when we're not talking about salvation in itself, because you can be saved from a moving train. That is salvation. But are you in the kingdom of God now? No. And a lot of people think that, oh, well, I was saved out of street life by Jesus. I was saved from drugs by Jesus, and they call that salvation. Is it? Yes. But is it now are you in the kingdom of God? No. So the salvation that we're talking about has to do with the kingdom of God and the hierarchy that God promised Israel in that kingdom, right? But yeah, again, it would really depend upon who you're talking to.
Because Christians call, like, I don't know which kind of Christians, but I know.
Majority of Christians do
they
believe.
call Jewish people the chosen.
Some of them, some Christians. Yeah, but some Christians also believe that a lot of Jews, a lot of the people over there in the state of Israel are going to burn in hell because they don't believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
So again, it just depends on what Christian you're talking about, and really also what Jewish people you're talking about. Double Shot of Wisdom says, can you help me understand this verse based on your belief now? Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 6 in the New King James Version. And to restore the preserved ones of Israel, I will also give you as a light to the Gentiles, that you should be my salvation to the ends of the earth. Very clearly, as I stated in Isaiah chapter 60, Isaiah chapter 60 tells us the same thing, that the Gentiles would seek toward the light and glory of Israel. It's very simple. And through the Israelites, the entire earth will be brought to peace. That's also said in Isaiah chapter 2 and Micah chapter 4. So yeah. All praise to the Most High. One yes, two no. Is everybody following along with the conversation so far still? I feel like some brothers feeling like I'm getting too old for this crap and realizing it wasn't right, at least the way they were bringing it out and breaking it down. One yes, two no. Is everybody still following along and being edified? One yes, two no. Right? Let's continue in the wisdom portion real quick. If you have any questions still, feel free to ask your questions. Go ahead. Oh my! Somebody curse these ads.
We're doing prayers.
Go ahead.
Where am I? 15? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 15. What am I saying? Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
My child, when you help someone, don't reprimand him at the same time. When you make a gift, don't say anything that hurts. Your words count more than what you give. Even dew gives some relief during a spell of hot weather. Yes, kind words are more effective than the best of gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are really concerned, you will give both. It is stupid to be unkind and insulting.
Mm-hmm.
No one's eyes are going to sparkle at a gift that you resent giving.
Ooh, so real quick, all praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Big shout out to Kwame, Israel, Yahawanathan Ban Lawya, What the water for your generous, your continuous, and your loving support. Keeping that $100 drive alive. Yahawanathan Ban. Yes, sir. Right, all praise, honor, glory to Yahawanathan, man. Definitely appreciate you, Kwame, Israel. All praises, all honor, all glory to the Most High. So I want to touch on this wisdom here before I get to your question. Double shot of wisdom. Feel free to stand by. I see your follow-up question. I'm going to touch on this wisdom right quick. Right, so this is important. Notice that this is labeled kindness and charity, right? My child, when you help someone, don't reprimand him at the same time, because now you're trying to give and take, right? Real quick, let's also, I'm gonna get this in the KJV. Right, so Sirach chapter 18 verse 15 in the King James Version. My son, blemish not thy good deeds, neither use them comfortable words when thou givest anything. Right, we want to make sure that as they concluded in this particular portion, when you're doing something, let it be genuine. Right, when it says not to reprimand somebody, right, I think sometimes the GNT they use the worst possible words. Maybe it's my perspective, right? When you help someone, don't reprimand him at the same time. So again, you don't want to be, if you're there to help, let it be genuine, right? You can give your suggestions and etc., right? But don't be trying to overrule, don't be trying to overtake, don't be trying to become the boss, right? In this particular case.
Or it could be overwhelming to the person because that person already kind of going through it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't kick them while they're down. You know, you can pick them up because they're already down. So you talk to them, you help them up.
Exactly.
Reprimand them another time. Talk a different way.
Right. And this also goes into Ecclesiastes 3 where it says there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
When you're helping someone, of course, if it's going to be detrimental to their life, don't hold back. Right. But you got to make sure that when you're helping people, it's genuine. Right. So moving forward now to verse 16, your words count for more than what you give. So let's say you give someone $50 million, right? But you're calling them a B word every day. Let's break this down even smaller, right? Let's make this a relationship, right? Let's make this a best friend relationship or a marital relationship. Let's say you and your best friend are always out and about. You are always buying them things. Anything that they lay their eyes on, you buy them. Let's say you go out with your wife, your husband, whatever. Anytime you guys are out, you buy them whatever they want, etc. Right? And at the same time, you're always yelling at them. You're always hitting them, calling them B words and this, that, and the third. Guess what? Your words will count for more than what you gave them. What you gave them would mean nothing because of what you did to them, right? Adding insult to injury, right? Verse 17 says, it says, even do give some relief during a spell of hot weather. Yes, kind words are more effective than the best of gifts. So it's better to be kind than to give someone $100 million. If you are really concerned, you will give both. So if you're someone who is a kind, loving individual, then guess what? You would give good words and you'd give good gifts, right? That's what the Most High God does for us.
It's the same thing. Colossians 3:17, word and deed. Whatever you do in word or deed, do it as you do it to the Most High. Or do it to the Lord.
Then verse 18, the author says, it is stupid to be unkind and insulting. No one's eyes are going to sparkle at a gift that you resent giving them. So, and this is where even love, right, can be tainted by unkind words or unkind deeds. People will forget the love you do have for them because of your lack of kindness, right? So it's important that we share this kindness with one another, and always stay steadfast in that loving kindness toward each other, right? Salakia. One yes, two no. Can everybody receive what was said here in the spirit so far? One yes, two no. Can everybody receive what was said here in the spirit? And of course, shout out to Zaquan Dabara and Chief Sister Tanya, going back to back. I see y'all over there. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Yahweh Shemi Shai Barakatah. Go out the water for your generous, continuous love and support. Zaquan Dabara and Chief Sister Tanya, keeping that $1 drive alive. Right? So now going back to double shot of wisdom. Thank you so much for your patience. They share Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. What about this one? They asked, according to what you said. So, I don't say, okay. So according to what we said, this still stands. Let's read it very clearly and effectively, huh? Let's read it again. Genesis chapter 12, verse 3 in the New King James Version. I will bless those who bless you. It already is what it's already circumstantial, right? God is telling Abraham, I'm going to bless people who bless you, and I will curse people who curse you. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So, again, I can keep referencing Isaiah chapter 60 because watch this. Let's pull it up this time, shall we? Let's pull it up this time. Let's go to Isaiah 60, guys. I'm going to show you guys how important Isaiah chapter 60 is. Give me a second. So let's read Isaiah chapter 60, right? In verse 1. It says, arise, Jerusalem, let your light shine for all to see. Isaiah 49:6, salvation to the ends of the earth. For the glory of the Lord rises to shine on you. Darkness as black as night covers all the nations of the earth, but the glory of the Lord rises and appears over you. All the nations will come to your light, mighty kings will come to see your radiance. This is again Isaiah 49:6. How we will be a light to the Gentiles, and the salvation will be seen by the entire earth. Very clearly. All right. Verse 4. Look and see, for everyone is coming home. Your sons are coming from distant lands. Your little daughters will be carried home. Your eyes will shine and your heart will thrill with joy. Who's he talking to? Jerusalem. For merchants from around the world will come to you. They will bring you the wealth of many lands. So now when these nations, they're coming to us, right? They're bringing wealth, right? Verse 6. Vast caravans of camels will converge on you. The camels of Midian and Ephah, the people of Sheba, will bring gold and frankincense and will come worshiping the Lord. The flocks of Kedar will be given to you, and the rams of Nebaioth will be brought for my altars. I will accept their offerings, and I will make my temple glorious. Right? So now the Most High God is accepting the offerings of these nations coming to our radiant glory that he's putting on us, the Israelites. Verse 8. And what do I see flying like clouds to Israel, like doves to their nest? That's the chariots. They are ships from the ends of the earth, from lands that trust in me, led by the great ships of Tarshish. They are bringing the people of Israel home from far away. Carrying their silver and gold, they will honor the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has filled you with splendor. Talking about Israel still. Watch this. Verse 10. Foreigners will come to rebuild your towns, and their kings will serve you. For though I have destroyed you in my anger, I will now have mercy on you through my grace. Right? These are the heathens. These are the nations that are willing to come and serve Israel. Right? They're going to come happily. They're going to do it because they know it's good. Right? Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23 talks about this. Isaiah chapter 14 talks about this. Verse 11. Now watch this. Your gates will stay open day and night to receive the wealth of many lands. The kings of the world will be led as captives in a victory procession. For the nations that refuse to serve you will be destroyed. Going right back to Genesis chapter 12, right, verse 3, where it says, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. Zechariah 14 also talks about people who will adhere to the commandments of the Lord and people that will not, right? And then continuing in Genesis chapter 12 that you posted, it says that all the families of the earth will be blessed. In you and all shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So we understand that it's important to know through the descendants of Abraham, that's how everybody going to be blessed. That's according to the prophecy. So we very much agree with this. However, what you posted, Isaiah 49:6, Genesis chapter 12, verse 3, this doesn't mean Jesus Christ died for them directly. Jesus Christ died, was humiliated. It says that he bore our griefs. He was struck for our transgressions, right? That's why he had to go through what he went through, was for the nation of Israel. And then now when we get healed, Yahawashi, Jesus, gets his kingdom. That's Daniel 2 and Daniel 7, right? The glory of the Lord is risen upon us. And then what? Gentiles come and seek to that light. And Isaiah chapter 2, Micah 4 talks about how they will learn war no more and there will be peace on earth. In between that shift of rulership, etc., they will have to be recompensed. That's Ezekiel 25, Ezekiel 35, Revelation 13, and plenty more scriptures. Also Isaiah 60, Jeremiah 30, right? Plenty of prophecy that talks about the recompense of the Lord for what they to the other nations for what they did to Israel, right? So that would be the conclusion of Genesis 12, and it still fits into the perspective in which we have as far as who Jesus Christ died for, right? It's important to ensure you don't conflate the reason why Jesus Christ died and then what it'll lead to. What it leads to doesn't mean that's what he died. Like he died for the Israelites, and then it helps fulfill other prophecies, right? So 1 yes, 2 no. Is everybody walking with us? 1 yes, 2 no. Is everybody walking with us? All right. Oh, praise to the Most High. So then if Christ didn't die for them, then what about this verse? God will justify the Gentiles by faith, Galatians 3 and 8. Again, going back to the prophecy, Isaiah chapter 53, right? The justification comes by the knowledge of the servant, and it has to do with Israelites. Instead of taking an ambiguous term, Gentile, and always applying it to non-Israelites, you would want the word of God to play the role of of morphing your understanding or controlling your understanding when you read something like the letter to Galatia, right? All praise to the Most High. Of course, double shot of wisdom. We are going to continue here with our wisdom portion, right? All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. So hopefully, I'm not moving too fast. 1 yes, 2 no's. Everybody following along with us. We're gonna come back. We're gonna go back over to Sirach chapter 18. We're gonna go back over to Sirach chapter 18. 1 yes, 2 no's. Everybody following along with us. Go ahead.
All right.
Oh wait, Salakia, hold on. Shout out to Zaquan Dabara. All right, Yahawanathan Ban Lawya the water for your generous, continuous, and loving support, keeping that $1 drive alive. We just need 7 more super chats, ladies and gentlemen. We just need 7 more super chats, ladies and gentlemen. All right, to hit that goal. All right, you good up? I can finish this, King.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, all right.
All right, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you are talking about before you speak.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Go ahead.
And give attention to your health before you get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Examine your conscience before the Lord judges you.
Examine your conscience before the Lord judges you. Know what you're talking about before you speak, and give attention to your health before you get sick. Right? This is important. Right? This is basic wisdom. This don't even need no breakdown. It's very clear cut and dry. Very clear cut and to the point. Go ahead.
No, it's like a mom saying sometimes, because it's like what moms usually tell you: think before you speak.
Exactly. Right? So like it real quick. You see the little up arrow near the microphone? Nope. On the bottom near the camera. To the left. Yeah, click that. It says P9.
Yeah.
Okay, Slack it. Shout out Chief Sister Erica joining us. That's me a lot of times. Can't even lie. Listen, brother, I'm right. Let me tell you something. It's all of us. It's all of us, man. Right? All praise to the Most High. Let's keep going. Verse 20.
Verse 20. Examine your conscience before the Lord judges you. Then when that time comes, he will forgive you. Humble yourself before you are punished with sickness. When you have sinned, show repentance. If you make a promise to the Lord, keep it as soon as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait until you are about to die to set things straight.
You see that? A lot of us wait to the last minute. Right? That's why we see the author said earlier, right? He will have compassion on us if we accept his guidance and are eager for him to show us where we are wrong. We have to want to do right, guys. Right? And instead of waiting to the last moment, we need to take advantage of this grace, this mercy, this long suffering now. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 23. But before you make such a promise, be prepared to keep it. Don't try to test the Lord's patience. Think, do you want him to be angry with you on the day you die? When you face his judgment, because remember earlier we said like anybody can die, right? Mm-hmm. You could be good or you could be bad, but imagine that's the day the Most High decided for you to die, and then you decided to make him angry. Now you get hit by a bus, or even you feel it. Mm-hmm. You feel that pain before you die. It's crazy.
And even so, right here, if you pay attention, verse 24. It says, think, do you want him to be angry with you on the day you die? When you face his judgment? So it lets you know you're going to be facing judgment when you die.
Yeah.
Right? And it tells us that the spirit comes back on the earth, regeneration. Okay, go ahead.
Think, do you want him to be angry with you on the day you die? when you face his judgment, do you want him to turn his back on you? When you have all you want, think what it is to be hungry.
Think what?
What it's like to be hungry.
So when you have all you want, think what it is like to be hungry, right? This goes into, let me see what the title is. It says self-examination, right? Some of us have other things down pat versus others, right? Some of us are more kind, whereas others may have the ability of understanding, certain things. Everybody has a strength, right? But we all certainly also have weaknesses, right? Right here it says, verse 25, when you have all you want, verse 25, when you have all you want, think what it is like to be hungry, what it is to be poor. Right? So this is now telling us to be more thankful. So in the beginning, it says to be more aware, right? It's telling us, guess what? Give attention to these things, examine your conscience, and be humble, right? Appreciate the Lord's grace, because you don't want him to be angry, and stop waiting to the last minute to do the right thing. Right? Verse 26.
So, because it's like when you start getting money,
Uh-huh.
like to that point, you probably forgot who you were or where you came from, and you don't even talk to the people that you were with. You're not even humble to them anymore. All right, so that's probably a good examination to see, like, to show compassion to others. Because what if you were in that situation, right? And then now that person has to, like, you will want that person to, like, see, like, okay, all right, when I'm in downtown, right, I see a whole lot of poor people and a whole lot of rich people. These rich people, they don't care at all about nobody, right? And it looks like that. But it's not that, though. It's like we have to show compassion, like, because Jay-Z, for instance, this guy, does he go back to the hood and, like, do stuff like that? Like, they show, like, charity stuff like that?
Not that I know.
Not that I know of. But then, like, Kodak Black, you could see, like, he got up there and he's still showing compassion because he sees what it's like to be poor. For a long time, he sees the people in his neighborhood, what it's like to be poor, because now you can see, okay, these people are really starving. Even Cardi B, I seen her do that with her album, right? She's trying to sell her album, and then she's like, wait a minute, all these people are broken. I'm trying to make them buy my album. That's not showing compassion at all. So you can see, like, to self-examine, you can see how others are feeling, like, also.
Gone.
Wow, we said 26. All right, so Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 26. Things can change in a single day. The Lord can act very quickly. If you are wise, you will be very careful in everything you do. When sin is all around you, be especially careful that you do not become guilty. Every intelligent person can recognize wisdom and will honor anyone who shows it. If you appreciate wisdom when you hear it, you will become wise yourself. And your words will be a source of wisdom for others.
And your what?
And your words will be a source of wisdom for others.
So now look at how it turned into you benefiting other people, right? Every intelligent person can recognize wisdom and will honor anyone who shows it. If you appreciate wisdom when you hear it, you will become wise yourself. This is something where it's like, without getting too personal, Zaquan Dabara always asks, for the right reason too, do you feel like this counsel is beneficial, right? And for me, the answer is always yes. I think it's more important, though, for me that I take the wisdom more seriously, and we need to be implementing it, because obviously it's sound, right? The fact that we even have to continue, any of us have to go to counsel continuously for the same thing. It's because we're not doing what we were told the first time. It's very simple, right? If we would literally just do what we know we should be doing, it, like, we sit here, we do this class, and we talk about it, but we don't do it, right? Does everybody hear that? Like, those are the few things that I be thinking about. It's like, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it. Why am I not doing it? Right? Because we know how intelligent Israel is. I mean, just think about what we've created. We've created everything that people find use in. but we can't keep God's commandments. We can't be kind to each other, right? We find reasons to get angry and justify our actions because of it. We let our emotions overwhelm us, right? We find issues in our present time of life instead of focusing on the fact that, guess what, this isn't going to last forever, right? Let's finish this out, and then we'll go to the questions in the chat. I see y'all questions in the chat. Double shot of wisdom, I see you. Mommy, I see you. We're gonna finish these last few verses out, and I'm gonna get to y'all in the chat. All praise to the Most High.
All right. So, Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 30. Don't be controlled by your lust.
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on.
Jesus Christ.
Don't be controlled by your lust. Keep your passion in check.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow yourself to satisfy your every desires, you will be a joke to your enemies. Don't indulge in luxurious living. The expenses of it will ruin you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make yourself a beggar by borrowing for expensive banquets when you don't have enough money of your own.
Ooh, this is sound wisdom right here, man. Barakatah. This is sound wisdom right here. So the beginning of it says, don't be controlled by your lust. Keep your passions in check, right? Lust, a lot of people always consider it to be something sexual. Lust is a desire. You can have lust for jewelry.
Money.
You can have lust for money. You can have lust for hate. You can have lust for envy. You can have lust for unaliving people, right? Lust is simply a desire. So the author is telling us, keep your passions in check. This is basically what's known as priorities. Keep your priorities in check. It's very simple. Verse 31. Shout out to Zaquan Dabura, YHWH, the water for your generous, continuous love and support. Keeping that $1 drive alive. Verse 31. It says, if you allow yourself to satisfy your every desire, you will be a joke to your enemies. So every time you want something and you just got to have it, it's going to turn you into a laughing stock. Because why? You have the inability of self-control. You're lacking temperance of the spirit. Verse 32. Don't indulge in luxurious living. The expense of it will ruin you. This is the same advice that most of our parents should have, if they did not give it to us, should have given it to us. Live within your means. Kids go to school today. They come out of school not knowing how to balance a checkbook, not knowing how to open a damn bank account, not knowing how to balance their bank account, not knowing how to move money around, create a savings. That way, if something happens, you got money to land on, because Ecclesiastes tells us that money is a defense. Having plans, right? Don't indulge in luxurious living. The expense of it will ruin you. Live within your means. A lot of people attempt to live above their budget. You need to live below your budget. Verse 33. Don't make yourself a beggar by borrowing money for expensive banquets when you don't have enough money of your own, right? Instead of asking to borrow money to go and do things that you want to do, guess what? If you don't have the money to do it, you shouldn't be doing it, right? It's very simple, clean, cut, and dry. Again, Yahawanathan the water for your generous, continuous loving support. Zaquan Dabara, keeping that $1 drive alive. All praise to the Most High, right? And we just need 5 more super chats, ladies and gentlemen, to go ahead and reach that super chat goal. All praise to the Most High. 1 yes, 2 no. Is everybody walking with us? Are you being edified? 1 yes, 2 no. Are you walking with us? And are you being edified? Right? So real quick, I'm gonna slide over to the chat right quick. Double shot of wisdom says Isaiah chapter 42 verse 6 and Isaiah 49 and 6 both show the Messiah as a light to the Gentiles. That's nations outside of Israel. I want something to be clear. I can't speak for the entire nation of Israel, or the entire community of the Hebrew Israelites. I can most certainly speak for us here with Servants of Yahweh Ministries, down here, the Miami T.R.A.P Star sect. Guess what? We are okay with us being a light to non-Israelites. We are okay with that. That doesn't mean Jesus Christ died for them. That is not the same thing. You may interpret it that way. Guess what? I can't help that. Right? You are reading it, and it doesn't say, hey, Jesus Christ died for these people. It says he's a light. I define the purpose of that light in Isaiah chapter 60. It's the same thing. Okay? Because the Isaiah 60 tells us, let's read it again, huh? Praise the Lord. Isaiah chapter 60, at the top, it say, all the nations, no, excuse me, Isaiah chapter 60, start at 1. It says, arise, Jerusalem, let your light shine for all to see. For the glory of the Lord rises to shine on you. Darkness as black as night covers all the nations of the earth. So they need the light that God gives Israel. They need to come to it. He didn't give it to them. They got to come to it. He gave it to us. All right? So we're okay with that, man. All right? That doesn't mean Jesus Christ died for them. All right? One yes, two no's. Everybody understand that. Those are not the same thing. Hold on. So Zaquan Dabara shared the problem with the term salvation as understood by the Christianity doctrine. Salvation equals being rescued and returned to our homeland, dealing with the death of Jesus Christ, right? Absolutely. Khan, Chief Sister Princess Erica says, also, family, please pray that the Most High has mercy on us while we are going through this eviction process in Yahweh's name. Khan. Travis Viscar says, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Khan. Mommy says, don't put your hat where you can't reach it. Speaking money-wise, facts. It's for October, so our eviction is still happening because the holds for eviction because of Trump starts with November's reign. Shashwan, you how about you, man? Shabbat Water the water for your generous, continuous, and loving support. All right, keeping that $1 drive alive. But yeah, man, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. Lord willing, everybody was edified. Shout out to everybody who hit that like button, share the video. If you're watching this on the replay, still hit the like button, share the video, and drop a comment. Of course, we still praying for our people, praying for our land, and praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability. Of course, we do so by Shema Mashiach Yahawashi. Make sure you guys are contacting us via email for your free prayer books, song books, religious exemption letters, general inquiries, and of course, to get the information to join us for the Passover in March down here in South Florida, ADMIN at SERVYHWH.info. All right. But without any further ado, again, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. I'm going to say, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Until next time, we say Shabbat Shalom. And again, shout out to Shashawan, Yahweh Bashimir Shabbat Water the water. Very generous, continuous, and love and support. Keeping that $1 drive alive. We just need 2 more. Let's see if y'all can make it happen before we end the live stream. 2 more. It can be as low as 99 cents. Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe now. All praises to the Most High.